Hello, my name is Jacob Nolan, and I am the owner and founder of a methodology of wellness and fitness called Flow Health. If I may take a little time and introduce y'all to what that is and how it works. We'll call this the initiation. So, if I may, let me initiate you now. What I would like to first say is that Flow Health takes upon the methodologies of around the placebo effect, so you absolutely have an inner ability to heal yourself, and that's the basic principles and mechanisms of what this works with. Also, I want to say that there is an umbrella of scientists called the Flow Genome Project, where a lot of the information that Flow Health gets comes from. I suggest that you maybe go to their website and see what kind of information they have. It's a lot about hacking the brain into flow states. And what that really means is finding a challenge to skill ratio that is a sweet spot for flow to be accessed. Also, I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you the start initiation of it, and then I'll tell you the functions and how it all works together to achieve a greater performance and wellness type of lifestyle. All right, so first, what I'd like to say is that when you come to me, you're going to start off with a no judgment assessment. And that assessment includes where you are on a line that has an arrow going up and an arrow that goes down. And it basically asks you to be honest, no judgment. You can be whatever you want. And starting off at the bottom, we have addiction. Flow Health is not here to pattern addiction therapies into this. I think it's a little bit more than that. So what we do at first is we refer you to some addiction therapies so you can get better tools to be able to come to me in the state of dis-ease, distress, dis-ease, and this is where Flow Health really does connect with a potential client. All right, so what we do at Flow Health is when we assess that dis-ease, a state of dis-ease for a client, we also like to tell them about the alchemy of stress. So the alchemy of stress would be changing distress, which creates dis-ease, into eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, which is a healthy, beneficial, motivational form of stress that can lead you to better lifestyle changes. So after disease, we have wellness. And this is kind of like the pocket where I want to see the majority of the people that come to me kind of like assessing themselves over a greater amount of time in wellness. And then my nerdy geek out is in fitness. So some of my credentials are, I have a bachelor's of health science, which is kinesiology, biomechanics, the history of healthcare, and the financial systems of for-profit and not-for-profit hospitals, all kind of combined in order for me to say that as a medical entrepreneur, I have to get the highest trifecta that I could, and that meant getting the health science degree with kinesiology and biomechanics. Then we have the ACSM Gold Standard Medically Pertinent Personal Training Certification, as well as the CrossFit Instructor Certification. With these three credentials, I can have a better overview of what to look at, and more of this area is where I like. So once we get past the assessment and you are like, what's the program, Jacob? This sounds very interesting now that I know I can move from wherever to wherever, and you're not really concerned about where I'm going with this. All right, so back to the programming and methodology of Flow Health. All right, after we have the no judgment assessment, wherever you are, I'm willing to get you right here. And then, in order to do that, we're going to use this mechanism right here. It's called a triple positive reinforcement feedback mechanism. And what it does is it superimposes ways to keep you on track in this program. All right, so the first part, the upper tier, the level that we start off at the top of this triangle, think of it as a triangle with 3 triangles at each end. So at the very start, we talk about activation of the mind, the body, and the spirit. All right, then you have access to whatever information you need for whatever ailment you might have. Then, after we kind of go through some of that, I'd like to talk about the tools that we use for Flow Health to really get in there and make the changes. All right, so we use diet, exercise, and a term called stress recycling, which is the alchemy of stress, like I described earlier. Changing distress, which creates dis-ease, into eustress, or a healthy, beneficial, motivational form of stress that can change your life. So also talk about mental health therapy and stress recycling, and also psychedelic therapy, because I do believe, because of my own experience with a brain injury that left me unable to speak properly or formulate appropriate responses, I found that the morality of healing for me, when using psychedelics with formal education to find out what a brain is, how it works, and how to adapt to it, I think that psychedelics created a neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, rewiring of the network in my own brain. And I think that that's why it's totally included in here. I hope it works out for everybody, and this isn't something that people are claiming it doesn't work, because there's a lot of science behind that. And I on my own testimony will say that formal education and psychedelics benefited my brain the most from a horrible brain injury that left me very imbecilic. So with that, I want to say I had to recycle a ton of stress and learn the meaning behind that. So what I use for stress recycling as a kinesiologist would be biking, boarding, skydiving, scuba diving, pretty much all the things that you can think of. So that's something that we'll get into as well. And then at the very end, we have 6 months of training using these tools, and we get into the last part of the program called the 6 months maintenance phase, which uses art, music, and healthy competitive athletics to keep you interested in this new lifestyle, because if it wasn't fun, you wouldn't do it for the rest of your life. So this is what I use personally to keep myself motivated for the best type of life that I can come up with and build for myself. I want to thank everyone for just taking the time out to watch this video. I hope that you can use any of this in any ways that helps you. I hope you can see where it could benefit you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My web address is www.myflowhealth.com. You can email me at flowhealth@me.com, and feel free to call me if you want to set up an appointment and really dig deep for some changes that could be improvements to your life. Call me at 706-296-2559. I appreciate your time today, and I hope you've learned a little something and gotten a little bit of an interest in Flow Health. I'm looking forward to working with some of y'all in the future. Thank you. Have a great day.